Another microcosm of that is just like we've had the Republicans come in with the Tea Party Express and try to take over the Tea Party. So now it's not a Ron Paul libertarian type thing. It's a Republican thing, but that's not working as well. So just like I've had white supremacists try to intimidate me over the last 15 years to, you know, you're white, you better join us or you're scum. The Hispanics can't give into that either. And Tea Party people can't go under the Republican Party's control. All of this is about co-opting.
Absolutely. And the fact remains is very, very clear, is that we're all in this together. It's not just white Americans. It's not just male Americans. It's not just Americans. It's all the people of this planet. And we have a choice between fear and love. We have a choice between materialism and domination or an economy in a world in which we cooperate and we take care. And right now is the choice. Every single one of you have a choice. And by sitting out, by not doing anything, and just by listening to the show, I know you've already cast your vote. And one person, as Mahatma Gandhi said, can change the whole world. Trust yourself by telling the truth and having courage.
Well, I think that's the key, is courage doesn't mean you have to charge a machine gun nest. It means you've got to stand up at a dinner party with authority and say, hey, I know we're all having a good time here talking about stocks and bonds and basketball scores or golf, but you need to know this is going on, and I care about everybody here, so I'm going to speak for a few minutes. And because as Americans, as free people, we're supposed to talk about real issues. I mean, I'll be in a convenience store and say, look at this. None of this candy has regular sugar. It's all aspartame. Did you know that's a chemical weapon? Did you know it's the byproduct of a genetically engineered bacteria? Go home and search engine the term aspartame manufacturing process or aspartame cancer. And people will be looking at me weird, and I go, it's normal for me to warn you. We're supposed to communicate, not just stuff you see on TV. You're meant to talk to your neighbors. And so I'll start preaching even louder, and I do that in front of my kids when they're with me at the grocery store or at a convenience store after we go on a hike, when we pull in and they want some water and they want some bubble gum and I can't buy it. I go, I'm sorry, this has chemical weapons in it. And they go, oh, that's right, Daddy. And then some guy starts laughing, and my son turns and says, I guess he's brainwashed.
You know, I love you, Alex, and I do the same thing. I play a lot of golf. I go out to the driving range, and, you know, about once every 3 times I'm at the driving range, the white jets go over and are laying down the chemtrails, and there'll be 20 people at the driving range, and nobody, they're outside, and 99% of the people never look up in the air. And I'll just go, hey, friends, take a look up there. What is that up there? What is that? That's not a contrail. And I'll get people talking. And with the amazing thing is, eyes wide shut. These our suppressors, our slave masters have done such an incredible job. They are carrying out their crime right in front of our eyes. But you know what? There are people that have their eyes wide open. And more people, and you can just point to people and say, what is that up there? What is that? Is not a contrail. And then explain to them what a chemtrail is.
All right, and I want to go over this briefly and then go to calls. Not just about chemtrails, but a microcosm. In 1992, a scientist, and we're making a film on this, got a Nobel Prize for a plan to stop global warming, which we know is a fraud. That's just their cover story. To spray barium salts and aluminum dioxide in the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Now, suddenly, in the last 5 years, high school textbooks say the government is spraying. This is normal. So for the kids, they're just being conditioned. For adults, we're told it doesn't exist. Then the White House science czar, who wrote Eco-Science, his first speech, you can pull this up on YouTube, John P. Holdren talks about geoengineering. And he'll say, we've been doing tests since the early 90s of spraying the atmosphere. Now we're going operational. But there's never a discussion about the funding or who's doing it. So what's happened is, because we've exposed the chemtrails or the aerosol crimes, they come right out in plain view and calmly say, yes, we're spraying you, move along. Just like they came out on Fox News, AP, Reuters in the last month, New York Times, and said, we are helping grow the opium. We have to, or Al-Qaeda will make the money. And they'll take over $500 billion a year. No discussion of where are you shipping it? Why don't you just legalize it, and then that would drive down the price and Al-Qaeda wouldn't get the money? Or, well, what do you mean Al-Qaeda will get the money? Again, they just, oh, we are growing the opium now. Oh, we are spraying you now. Oh, we are looking at putting things in your water to sterilize you. They're already doing it. So it's that same thing of, it isn't just in their religious or sadomasochistic psycho world they do this. There's a method to it where they just calmly tell you, like it loses the power. Yeah, we're spraying you. Yeah, there's some cancer viruses in there. Yeah, it was all hype about the flu. Yeah, we're growing the drugs. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's right in front of our eyes. And again, as I said before, what an incredible time to be alive. And I am so thankful that I am here right in the epicenter of the Truth Center, standing next to my friend Alex right here, because you know what? Telling the truth, standing up for freedom, having love in your heart, making new friends, working for freedom, working for the ideals of the Republic, cleaning up our economy and our environment. What more fun things are there to do?
And we're only alive once. This is a great time of change, and we're going to decide the destiny of this planet, and then its journey to the stars. Let's go to phone calls. Well said, George Humphrey, economist, joining us here in studio, author, filmmaker as well. Again, I'm Alex Jones. If you just joined us as we attempt to wake the planet up to defeat the New World Order, the social engineers. Let's talk to Frank in Nevada. You're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Just a terrific show. I'm loving listening to you today. You know, you got to remember one thing. In ritual magic, one of the things that they like to do is they like to create out of nothing. In other words, when they create a work of art that foments their concept, like the films a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no, that's the lesser magic. That's preparing the sword, the rough sword before they polish it.
Exactly. The thing we have to remember is we cannot attack them based on their rules. When they destroy our economy because they don't want an audit of the Fed, so they dump the stock market, or they dump all this oil in the Gulf of Mexico so that they can destroy all the coastlines along the southern part of our country to destroy the food chain. We cannot deal with them on their level. We must constantly be fighting them with truth and with our purity of heart, because these are evil creatures. As you said, they are vampires. What they do is they suck on the life force of humanity.
Well said, my friend. And
I think it's that separation from them. They're in their evil. We have to be part of the good and the love, and we need to make the clean break and point out and even declare it. Saying something's powerful. I am not with you. I'm going to stand against you. I'm going against you, and we're going to beat you. I think it's very important to declare it and to really consciously realize this, so people who serve this system, who are compartmentalized and who aren't consciously part of the evil, you need to assess what you're in and understand that if you're aiding and abetting this system, you're part of the problem.
Yeah, and it's like in The Matrix, in the movie The Matrix, if you weren't down as a human being in Zion, you were part of the Matrix. No matter how good-looking you were or how rich you were part of the problem. And there are some basic laws of the universe. The law of intention. We have to set our intention. Are we for freedom? Are we for the Republic? Are we for sustainability? Are we for love? Or are we for this control matrix?
And remember, they always have counterfeits. You say love and sustainability and working together. Through free will, they come with slavery for the collective.
Absolutely.
They always have a counterfeit.
And we always have to be very articulate in what we say. And then, just like the fellow said, through the purity of our heart, only through the law of attraction. And we can have all the great words in the world and we can rant and rave, but if we're not taking care of our families, if we're trashing things ourselves, and if we aren't living a good life, all the words in the world.
No, you've got to
zero.
You've got to not just talk the talk. You've got to walk the walk. And I've noticed when I've been talking to high-powered people, if I'm tired and not focused and just try to give them some info, they'll laugh at it. But when I really get on and focus, and it's like a spiritual message, it's almost electric. People can tell the truth. It's like, I'm warning you. I'm not. So many yuppies, when you tell them about something, they think you're showing off, or they'll say, I don't care if the market went down. I'm not in it, as if. They're separated from things.
Yeah, and that's why discernment is so essential at this time. There are a lot of souls on this planet who have chosen to go down the path of materialism and of fear. And you're just not going to be able to deal, just like you can't deal with certain alcoholics or people who are irrational. You can love them and you can try and help them, but we've got to take care of ourselves, our friends, and our family, and have that pure intention to make
charity starts at home.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've got to get your house in order, and that doesn't. But at the same time, it's sophisticated. A lot of people go to the extreme of that, and I appreciate your call, Frank. Great points. They go to the extreme and they say, well, I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers, so I better just never speak out or get involved. No, 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 no. It just means you're going in the right direction. You've made a decision to try to be good, a decision to open yourself up to goodness, and to set yourself against evil.
Absolutely. You don't have to be perfect. This is part of a great game, and working for freedom, working for peace is part of the game. It's a great game.
And it's a progression. You'll get better and better at this, the further you go.